Hi, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be looking at some beginner strumming patterns. Now the rhythm that I think helps the most to develop your internal rhythm is one where you don't play a certain downbeat, but you do play upbeats. And it's something like this. So the first thing I do with all of my students is I get them to strum once, but tap their foot 4 times. So it will look something like this. The point of this is we start to work on your internal rhythm clock. Everybody has a brilliant internal rhythm clock. You'll find that when you walk down the streets, or you walk to the office and back, or you walk somewhere, you'll roughly walk at the same speed. When you talk as well, you talk in a certain rhythmical pattern. Your heart will beat at a fairly constant, steady rhythm. Even when you sleep in rhythmical patterns. So your body has an amazing rhythm clock. One of the things that I try and do in all of my lessons with all of my students is try and bring that out. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Now you might notice my hand is moving ever so slightly. And that's another thing that we're going to do. That's step 2, is we're going to start ghost strumming. Still tapping our foot. 4. If this is new to you, tapping your foot and strumming without hitting the guitar, I would urge you to spend as much time as you can on it. And I would also tap with your right foot and you strum with your right hand if you're playing right-handed. If you're left-handed, do the opposite. Because we're trying to sync up the same side of our body, with our right-hand side. That's what we're going to really focus on. If you struggle with strumming, and whether you're playing upstrokes and downstrokes, 9 times out of 10 is because you're not tapping your feet and you're not kind of trying to lock into this internal rhythm that you have, and you do have it. So that's what you're going to do for like 5, maybe 10 minutes. You're just strumming once and tapping your foot. 3, 4, 2, 3. If you want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, feel free. 4, 2, 3, 4. Do that for 5, maybe 10 minutes. Do it for 10 minutes every day, and I promise you within a week your rhythm playing will improve vastly. So the next thing we do is we strum on beats 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3. Well, keep your foot tapping. Hopefully the mic's picking that up. 3, 4. And you'll also notice that my head is starting to bounce as well. I can't not bounce my head. We're just trying to get our whole body moving. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. My hand is still doing those ghost strums. My head, you'll see my head is nodding, my whole body, my shoulders, everything is moving. We're gonna do our first upstroke, which is gonna come on beat 2 and. So I count in between the numbers. I just use the word and. You don't have to use the word and, it just feels quite natural to me. So it's like this. 1, 2, and. The upstroke is the thing that people kind of struggle with. So there are a few little pointers. The first thing is your pick. You should not be holding onto your pick any tighter than you need to stop it from falling from your fingers. The harder you grip this pick, the more abrasive it sounds across the strings. You get something that sounds like this, which you have to forgive me, it's going to sound awful. You can just hear that brut, brut kind of noise, which we want to eradicate. So it should be like a wobbly tooth. Just enough tension in there to stop it from falling out, and it's loose enough so that the pick will actually move in your hands, and that's what you want. You want it to move. And there should be a tiny, tiny rotation in the wrist. Let's say 95% of the motion comes from our elbow. Now the rhythm that I think helps the most to develop your internal rhythm is one where you don't play a certain downbeat, but you do play upbeats. And it's something like this. So what we're doing there is we're removing beat 3, but we're still strumming this ghost down strum on beat 3, which is why we practiced it earlier, right at the start of the video. It's all coming together now. 1, 2, and 3, 4. rather than saying down, down, up, 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 down, 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 and up, doesn't make any sense. Using numerical notation, 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. So there's nothing on beat 3, but we do have a strum on 2 and, as well as 3 and. So really slowly, you should be able to hear my foot. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. And it's that down strum on beat 3 when we're not hitting anything that really works on your internal rhythm clock. And that is quite literally the only strumming pattern. I hate people that do this as well, but I feel like I have to. It's the only strumming pattern that you should really work on. Everything else is just moving the and around. It's just downstrokes, and it's just... at the end of the day, it doesn't get to the core of the problem that people have. This rhythm is one that will really hone in on those little problems that you may have. So if you can nail this pattern, just this one pattern, I should stop saying pattern, this one rhythm, it will help out across the board for all of your musical journey. I promise you it will. You know, funk playing, all of that kind of stuff. This helps out massively because there's so many ghost notes in that where we strum but we don't, where we move our hand but we don't strum. I really hope that this has helped in some small way, and I hope that this helps your journey to being a better guitar player, a better musician. I think that's always the goal. That's always the goal for me. If anyone has any comments, drop them down below. I will answer them all, and I'll leave it with you. Go off and have fun. Go off and play. Entertain the world, because that's your job now as a musician, as a guitar player. So yes, all right, I'll leave it here, and I'll see you in the next video. Excuse me. All right, goodbye. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Okay, see you later. Bye-bye.